Okay, my name is Zakashi, guys, and in this video here I'm going to be giving you a best teams and equipments guide for Orange Piccolo, the Power Awakened Piccolo, but he's a revival unit that transforms into Orange Piccolo. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this video, man. I'm going to be doing my best to actually give you a guide on best teams to use them on, the equipment, so you can form the best team and go ahead in PvP or wherever you want to use them in the game. So if you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button, man. We're on this grind to 50,000 subscribers. All my social media links are going to be down below. We're very close to 50,000 subscribers as well. So if you're new here, you know what to do here, man. Make sure to press that red button, man. I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. Let's actually get into the video now. Okay, so the first team I'm actually going to show you is Regeneration. Now I feel like Regeneration is a very good team right now, and this is just one example of it. It's not a specific build that you have to use, but yellow, green works very well. What's so good about this is that Kid Buu, he comes with an endurance layer, and if you rush him, he's going to nullify the endurance nullification if you have that activated on your unit. So that's great. Unless you're using someone that permanently nullifies endurance, Kid Buu is going to be alive from a rush. The endurance layer is also great as well. It keeps you alive extra long, and Kid Buu already does a lot on his own. That's just able to just make the team so much greater. Cool. Orange Piccolo, he's that extra layer of revival, so you need to take out his first life to really get into the groove of actually fighting to win. And then on top of that, he has a gauge that actually can break your combo, and on top of that, just do a lot for himself, and he's just going to be a lot stronger on the revival. But before that, he might not be the greatest fighter for your team, but the extra life does make PvP a lot more inconvenient for anybody dealing with him. Fat Buu, he's a healer. More than anything else, he's going to absorb hits. I wouldn't say he's a must use on the team, but if anything, he's going to be healing your team. And then we've got two Zenkai buffs for Kid Buu. We've got DKP and Piccolo, the LL. If you can get them both to 14 stars, that would be great. And then we've got green Piccolo at the bottom for actually Fat Buu and Orange Piccolo, because regen. So it works very well, but these are not the only variation of regeneration that you could use. So if I actually go to my filter and then go to change, and then you want to actually find the regeneration tag, so hopefully my eyes work, there they are. And then I'm going to go to actually the full character list so you can see what options you've got. So I'd actually recommend this second form Cell, simply because he's a melee type, so he fits very well with the team. Everybody on the team is pretty much melee orientated, so he's not going to be difficult at all to squeeze in there. Very nice, and he actually keeps Ultra Kid Buu getting the buff of the regeneration, on top of the fact that he actually buffs regeneration himself. So he's a unit I actually do recommend for this team. Very promising unit, but obviously it depends on your stars if you're going to use them, so just be wary about that. And outside of that, I don't think I'd recommend anybody else really and truly. Second form Cell is pretty much the only option outside of the ones that I gave. Maybe if you want to, you could put Zakashi on the leader slot, which is actually an extra layer of endurance. You put him on the leader slot, and then Kid Buu would actually be feeding off the regeneration on the 6-man, so you don't need to have him on the leader slot. But at the same time, Zamasu here, it seems like his Zinobi is more blast orientated, so you might not want to opt for that, but the endurance is really helpful. Don't sleep on endurance, man. It's a game changer and it's so annoying to deal with. Let's not even count the fact that Zamasu is also a combo breaker, and if you wanted to Zenkai buff him as well, you could actually opt out for one of these guys and actually opt in like someone like this. So you can see here regeneration, but this is a blast based one, so you might want to go for Slug over here, so it's a bit more strike based. You get what I'm saying? You've got options with Regen. Regen is actually a very promising team. I'm looking forward to what they're actually going to get in the future. Not saying that they're like the top one team, because there might be a team that you think is better, but for sure they are a team that can compete with the top leagues of PvP, which is why I'm mentioning them in this video. So if you want to use Orange Piccolo and Regen, you'd be prospering, I'm not going to lie. Okay, so the next team I've actually got is Movies. Now I just decided to put on the most basic Movies team that everybody knows. It's the typical Beast Gohan, Pan, and then you just have a third option. People used to use Future Gohan because that's hybrid Saiyans, but in this case, instead of the endurance, you've got the revival Orange Piccolo actually opts in for, and I've actually gone ahead and decided to Zenkai buff him using the legendary Super Saiyan Broly. So you can see here, he actually Zenkai buff Sucks on the Movies green, so Piccolo's going to eat off that. Now this is actually a team that works well because of their equipments as well, so they can feed off that equipment. I'll show you this, the specific plat that they get, but obviously we already know what Pan can do. She's like the biggest support in the game. I'm going to show you some substitutes as well. Beast Gohan is one of the most offensive Movies units, if not the most offensive Movies unit. Yeah. And then Orange Piccolo is obviously a video about him, so he's gonna shine on the team. We got a Zenkai buff for Beast, and then we've got this Z ability here because it just works very well for the hybrid Saiyans. But it works very well in this case because Piccolo's on the leader slot, and then this Broly here has a Z ability for movies, so everybody gets that blast defense. It's kind of weak, but the Zenkai buff helps Orange Piccolo. Now, if you want to actually look at other options, so I'm going to bring up Saga from the movies here, and I'm going to bring up the whole character list. So let me go to the character list right now. If you look at the options here, you might be wondering why I'm not using the new Gohan. Now, the new Gohan, pretty much, I'm not saying he's a bad unit, he's actually quite good actually, but Pan is just way more convenient to use, and because Pan's been in the game for much longer, the odds are you have her higher stars, so she's an easier option to opt in for, and she's just more controlling in the sense of sub counts consistently and whatnot. Gohan, he's a lot more selfish in the sense where he wants to do damage. Pan sticks to her role. She's a support unit and she does that at every given point, so you're going to be able to just flourish with her a lot more, in my opinion. You might want to use UGB on the leader slot and keep it hybrid, keep it movie based with rest, but I feel like he doesn't really have a strong place, but it depends on you and what units you have and whatnot. Just giving you guys some option. I wouldn't really recommend using Magenta with his Cell Max on the death. It's not really great. I'm not gonna lie, it's not something that you should really opt in for, because it's the same color as Orange Piccolo, and being a green in this meta is dangerous. It's dangerous. The Gammas I wouldn't recommend either, simply because they are range types, so it kind of just messes with the synergy. So pretty much I would say stick to the basic hybrid Saiyan team that with the Orange Piccolo on the leader slot. It keeps the team simple, keeps the team sane, and we all know it's a formula that works. So yeah, it's going to show you guys one more time the basic hybrid Saiyan team, just changing out one of the benches with Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, and then obviously Orange Piccolo on leader instead of the usual Future Gohan or something. Now for this next team or teams, I want to just express that you could obviously use Orange Piccolo on some leader slot options, because he would be a good unit to just add a revival layer on teams that you already use. So right now I've just put together some future team where I've actually gone ahead and used green, blue. So we've got Zamasu getting Zenkai buff by VB, then we've got Rose being Zenkai buff by Vegeta. HP buff here is 25%, of Orange Piccolo eats off that, but he's also getting all the Z abilities here because he's on the leader slot. You do cut Rose short by only 5%, and he's getting Zenkai buff, so he's gonna make it back anyways. The equipment's quite clash, but it's just an example of a team that you could use to actually get that extra layer of revival on other teams that you already use. Here's another team that I've actually used where it's just simply regeneration, but I've decided to put Pan on the leader slot because she's such an amazing support. She would actually uplift regeneration to that next level of doing damage. As Orange Piccolo is new and boosted, he's going to be able to hold his own. Kid Buu is already a menacing ultra, easily, possibly one of the best units in the game. No, as the best unit in the game. Top 1 Kid Buu. And not even top 2, top 3, top 4, it's just top 1 now, because he actually could just be that solid. So this is another team where I've actually just changed the leader slot option to actually make it so that the team I'm already using can be better. I think it works very well because the Zenkai buffs and the Z abilities go all the way around, but then Pan is just being that extra layer, and on top of that it meshes with the equipment I'm going to show you right after this bit of the video. So just bear in mind that these are not like teams I'm recommending full out within this section here, this third team selection leader slot section, but I just want to show you that you can make teams and actually still use the unit if you actually just want to freestyle it, depending on what characters you use more than not often, because superhero might not be your thing, but you summon for the hype, so now you have the unit and you want to use them on a team you already are familiar and comfortable with. Okay, so the first equipment I'm going to show you here is this Piccolo Plat equip, and you can actually get pure blast, pure strike, and some base on both slots alongside HP on the first slot. So it's very effective. If you're running with Pan, you're going to get the strike attack, which is what you want more than anything, but you 100% get the regeneration slot because Piccolo himself is a regeneration member, so you can easily get both, which is going to be a big benefit to you, especially if you're running him on that regeneration team that I showed you. With Pan on the leader slot, you got Zenkai buffs. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful, man. If we see here, you can only get it from the dual coin shop, which is quite inconvenient, but it is an equip you might want to consider to actually add to your roster. This equip, the plat that you get from the Legends Ranking exchange shop, so here's where you get Legends Ranking. It's just generally just a consistent equipment to use. You get strike and defenses, strike defenses, overall everything to do with strike on one equip, and it's quite a lot of it. That's only for melee types, so that's going to work for Orange Piccolo. Definitely advise you grinding it because you get a mix of both worlds pretty much on the offensive and defensive side. Where you get, again, it's only available in the Legends ranking shop, but it's the memory, so then you're gonna have to do the equipment awakening. Very easy to do though, it just requires some extra fragments of every single color or something and some other scraps, and then you can just get, and you get the red slot straight away. But then the second and third slot is going to be difficult to actually upgrade, so what I advise you do is only upgrade during the bonanza, but stack the actual soul shells that you can see here. It's in this image here, for the bonanza, so you can actually guarantee your odds of getting a red slot or a yellow slot in the middle and the third one. This equip, depending on what team you're running him on, is actually very effective. You can get 18% strike attack depending on if you're running him on movies. So you can see here, if you have 3 movies, remember you get 6% per, including himself, 2 others, that's 6 times 3, that's 18. That's going to make a big difference to your team. The first slot is pretty crappy, second slot strike defense is nice. Don't get the blast defense. I think strike defense is just way better because most teams are melee orientated, and you can get this from the Ultra Zenkai, which is based on Rush Shop. But if you want to know where you can get the pure version, so like the core version, not the awakened one, if I actually go to the archive, if you go to filter, you can actually always find yourself Sinsogs from the movies. It should be somewhere on the screen, and it's right here. You can see the unawakened version, you get 5%, and you can see you can get it from the equipment medal shop. So definitely grind one of these as well, maybe even 3 of these if you're going to be consistently running movies. This is an equipment that can help him bulk up if you're running him on regeneration, or any team, to be honest, as long as you have a yellow. So you can see here he's actually going to get 15% blast defense pure if you're running a yellow on the team. It's per yellow, so if you've got 2 yellows, that's going to be 30. You got 3 yellows, that's 45. So it's quite wild, I'm not going to lie, for blast defense. You also get HP and strike defense, and that's going to help you bulk up tenfold. How you can get this, you can get it from the Legends Road Turtle Medal Gold, and you can get it from the equipment medal shop. So it's 2 places. This one's actually really solid, I'm not going to lie. This one's here kind of dope, but I wouldn't recommend grinding it. It's just that you might have one already. So you can see your subs from the movies green, you get strike and blast attack, but on the first lot you get health restoration and base strike defenses. Now depending on what team you're running Orange Piccolo on, you might be using 17 on the universe rep team or something like that. You would actually be able to gain a lot of health because of this first slot. Where you can get this, it's the ultimate equipment collection, but it's really only for the purpose of you wanting to actually gain health, a lot of health. Naturally, regeneration is one of his core teams, and because of his revival, I think it's a very important that you might want to bulk him up. So if you're running on regen, you can actually get 15% pure strike defense here, and you actually get the 2 of each defenses depending on which slot you go in the middle. So you get blast defense on the first slot. I advise to go to strike on the middle slot, and then you can actually get pure, because adding pure without the base is very bad. So get some base in the middle slot, and then you can actually get pure on the third slot. If you're running 3 regeneration members, you can get the 15%, which is great. You can get this from the equipment collection for regeneration, or you can get it from the Z Medal exchange shop. This is the last equipment I'm going to show you, but I think it's very valid. The first slot you can get blast defense, the second slot you get strike attack and special move damage, but the third slot you get strike attack, a lot of it. So in total it's about, if we're looking at it, it's about 37.5% strike attack. I hope I did that math right. And then you also get 12.5% special move damage with the defenses on the first slot. It's for transforming warriors and melee type, which is actually what Piccolo is. How you can get this, you can get the memory from the Zenkai Ultra Space Time Rush Shot, but then what you're more worried about is the unawakened version, which you can actually get from the equipment medal. And if you look at it, it's actually way different. Like, it's not as good when it's unawakened, but equipment medal shop is where you're actually able to obtain this. Okay, that's going to be the end of the video, man. Hopefully this video was helpful, hopefully it was useful. Took a while to actually comprise the teams that I actually used. I went through all the rankings and whatnot, but Orange Piccolo, he doesn't seem to be that popular, but if you do want to use him, this video is sure to help you actually bulk him up, make him the best that he can be, so you can bring him into PvP and actually murk some people there. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press that subscribe button, man. We're on this grind to 50,000 subscribers, man. 50, we're very close, probably there at the time you're watching this video. So if you're new here, you know what to do here, man. Make sure to press that subscribe button, man. Press that red button for sure. But I'm gonna leave the video like that, guys. I appreciate you guys for watching. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.